Okay, how to plant. When you plant these, in a nutshell, you'll need three things. You're gonna need some mulch. Do I have mulch? Mulch. You're gonna need mulch. Let's get this for the camera. There you go. You're gonna need mulch. You're gonna need a root and grow, and you're gonna need a food. All-purpose plant food. Every time you plant, especially edibles. How deep do you plant? This is a 2-gallon size container. It's a standard size. Probably our most popular size because it's small. It's big enough to have a big plant, but it's small enough to plant easily in a yard. You're only going as deep as the bucket. All these plants, most of the roots go sideways. They're going just underneath the surface of the ground, and they're looking for food and water because that's where the food and water is. There's nothing down there for them for most of our yards. There's just more caliche, rock boulders, more clay. There's no water, food, organic, there's nothing down there for them, so they go sideways. If you know that's how they're gonna grow, encourage them. So you wanna dig a hole that's 3 times the width, so this wide, this wide, this wide, and around, okay? And just this deep. And then you're gonna mend that dirt with soil, okay? You're gonna mend that with about 25% compost to your native earth. It's got to get used, if it's going in the ground, it's got to get used to that soil sometime. But we want to help it, we want to encourage more root hairs to form faster. It's all about roots, especially with edible plants. It's all about the roots. The larger the root mass, the more fruit you're going to have, the faster, okay? So that will really make a difference. Now, I have bumped that up, that mulch, to soil. I've gone as high as 50-50. I don't like to go that high because it can be a little soggy. The mulch holds the moisture in quite a bit. I don't like to go quite that high, but if you hit a big rock, some of you are on rock piles. All it takes is one boulder and all of a sudden you're into more mulch because you don't have enough soil. Or you hit that debris pile where the contractor buried all the junk in your yard. You got bricks and all kinds of stuff down there. All of a sudden you're pulling that out, you'll just need to add a little more. So if you need to, you can bump that up a bit. But generally speaking, it's 1 shovel of mulch for 3 shovels of native soil. Okay, and blend that together. Use that to backfill around this root ball. Okay, when I'm all done, I'm going to sprinkle some of this all-purpose plant food on top. Some folks will say, do I put it in the ground? I put it on top. But where do I put that? I've done it both ways. It doesn't seem to matter. So if it doesn't matter, I'm into shortcuts. I want the easiest possible way to guard myself. And so I find it's just blend the mulch up, backfill, sprinkle this on top because it's just fast. And so I'll sprinkle some of that on. This is all-purpose plant food. It's the main ingredient is cottonseed meal. And it's got some bird guano, and I put some fairy dust in it. You know, just magic stuff. It's got iron and sulfur. It's a good all-natural food. The great thing with natural foods, every time you water or it rains, it's going to release a little food every time over a very long period of time as it breaks down. That's really important for your fruiting plants. They need a long, consistent food cycle. They'll perform better for you. So I would say, especially with your fruiting plants, stay away from synthetics. Your petroleum-based products, which is most of your Scotts and your bigger names, they're going to be synthetic foods. They release all at once, right now. They're like a hit of food right now. It's like adrenaline junkie. You more, and then it just flushes out of the ground and it's gone, and the plant is left wanting. And so it'll affect the fruit. If you give it organics are better, it's just safer anyway. You're dealing with edible crops. Just makes sense. When I'm all done, I'll water it in with the root and grow. It's a rooting hormone. This is like B1. Remember, as your grandparents used a lot of B1. This is not B1, but what we found with B1 is there was no difference. University testing, we tested B1, water, and this product. B1 and water, there was no increase in root size at all. The B1 changed the pH a little bit, but that was it. There's no other, it was water in a bottle they were selling you. So as soon as we saw that, we stopped selling that, and we started going with this product. It's got a real mild fertilizer to it, and it's that dipping powder that you use for cuttings, it's for house plants, or you take a draining cuttings, you dip it. It's that in liquid form. It helps it root more. So you will get more root mass, because you're going to do some damage to this when you pull it out. This is the only home it's ever known. This is like open heart surgery. And brain surgery together at the same time. It is traumatic. You're gonna pop this thing out and start planting it in the soil, and then you're probably gonna massage your root some. It's gonna go into shock. And so this product helps it stabilize, and then helps it form every root hair that got broken. It will help it form multiple root hairs off of that. So it really makes a difference. I'll use this every 2 weeks until I see the plant stabilized. Once I see, and you'll know, because you'll see new growth, it'll start blooming, more fruits will be. As soon as I see it out of that stress, I no longer give it any of this stuff. Okay? 3 things always whenever you plant. Don't plant in a divot. Don't listen to Phoenix. All those gardeners tell you to plant it in a little divot hole. It'll help you to rain harvest. Well, when it's 100 degrees out at midnight, you can get away with that. But up here, we cool down. And we actually get rain. Because the monsoons come and they hit the mountains, they just dump to get over the hills, they dump all their rain on us. So the 100-year average, you get 19 inches of rain a year. That's a lot of rain in a year's time. We get it all at one time. We get it all at once, but we get a lot of rain. If that thing is sitting in a slight divot, it'll have your regular irrigation that you're doing and an afternoon rain. Usually it'll die in August, September, first part of October. It literally will drown. So a lot of you, especially that 69 corridor going out towards Cordis Junction, Dewey, Mayer, the ranch, Yavapai Hills, you all have some serious clay soil. I mean, it is thick. You got the caliche layers really heavy out there. Layers of like concrete going through the ground. If that plant is sitting in a slight divot, it won't be able to breathe, it won't perk well enough. And so it'll tend to have issues mid to late summer. Okay, just trust me. At ground level or a slight mound is better. Or raised beds altogether, which is what I've done. Okay, that's how you plant. One last thing that I do, this is way over and beyond. I use AquaBoost crystals whenever I plant. These are soil polymers. Polymers are those crystals that hold like 200 times their weight in water. So they swell up. This will swell up and make like a 5-gallon bucket. It's huge. But I infused our polymers. We infused them with mycorrhizal fungi. Now we're really getting deep into science, into the gardening stuff. But mycorrhizal fungi are those living organisms in the soil that encourage plants to root. So you'll run into these in your garden. If you're digging the soil, you'll see this gray or white kind of cottony mass. Not cottony, it's like it's been eating the organics and stuff. Those are mycorrhizal colonies. And so if you can take those and add those, whenever I run into those, I start sprinkling them around the yard. Like, ooh, this is good stuff. This is great. I'll spread that. When plants see those mycorrhizal colonies, they go, wow, something's going on in the soil. I got a root here. Some of you are actually growing in dead soil. When they built your house, they came with a backhoe and they scraped off every bit of topsoil you had. And they scooched it off the side. They put your footers in, your driveways, your patios, and you're left with no topsoil. Literally, you'll plant something, and 3 years later, it hasn't grown. It's still sitting there, the same size. That's an indication that you've got dead soil. And so, if you can introduce some mycorrhizal fungi back into the soil, and then have a product that holds moisture around, AquaBoost will hold the moisture around the root balls, and it seeds or repopulate your mycorrhizal colonies so you get more growth. So you got a plant that encourages roots, you got a product that encourages roots and retains the water around it. So every time I plant, I sprinkle a little bit of this in the bottom of the hole for my own gardens. Whether it's a tomato, really good for container gardens, because it's holding the water in. It's just if you're using this stuff, make sure you train yourself to not water so much. So if you're watering every day, this plant will hold the moisture around there, and the plants you have to really train yourself, oh, I should wait till the plant, you can go twice as long in between water cycles if you're using these kind of products. Okay? It really makes a difference in my gardens. And I would say this is over and beyond, at least do this. But I get one of these a year and I just sprinkle around the yard. Yes?
You know you're overwatering when you see it start to come out.
Oh, yeah. He's obviously used it. So polymer crystals, as they swell, I've actually had some plants levitate out of the pot, especially in little pots. I'll sprinkle it in dry, then I'll water it, and it starts swelling up. The plants actually start to rise up out of the pot. I went, oh, okay, I should have realized. It really works well, so it's a great product in a dry climate. I've been playing with polymers for a couple decades. And I finally came up with this one. Once I started embedding the fungi with it, it really was a game changer. It helped my gardens. Yeah.
You said sprinkling around. So would it actually help, even though I have some plants in ground, go ahead and sprinkle that around?
Don't sprinkle it on top of the soil. You'd want to work it in. So a big screwdriver, piece of rebar, hook it in the ground, try to swiggle around, try to get it in where the roots are. You'll get more benefit where the roots are at for established plants. Really works well if you're travelers, let's say RVers, or you like to cruise. Your house plants really makes a difference for your house plants, because now you're putting it helps you go twice as long before you gotta water. So instead of once a week, you're now every 2 weeks for your water cycles. Really makes a difference. Okay. Other last question, we can cover bugs.
So that's good for like roses and everything.
This I use on every time I plant. But I think that there's really a benefit to your edibles, anything edible, because it's all about keeping consistency of moisture and encouraging deeper roots. Well, this does both. So Aqua Boost is, and it looks a little hokey, I know. It's a ball jar. I go down to Walmart and I buy these, and we make this stuff in the back. We get little people, little elves, and they come in after night, and we stick a little sticky label on it. It was the least expensive container I could find for this particular product. So we're making it right here. Okay, called Aqua Boost Crystals.